Tell me about your museum.
My name's John Walker. I'm president of American Huey 369 organization that's been around for 15 years. This is our 13th flying season. Fort Jennings, it's our 8th time here in a row. Our 209th consecutive event scheduled in 13 seasons. Our 209th event completed, without one ever being canceled by Mother Nature or for maintenance. With that, we have nearing 19,000 members. This organization is membership owned, membership driven. There have been no federal money or state money or grants or loans, or do we want any. All the restorations on the 3 Hueys, like this one behind me, have been all, the money's come from membership money and donations in kind. That's a handful of businesses that are in the aviation field that have helped us with overhaul or parts or overhaul of components, or our turbine shop, Nebraska Gas Turbine. And folks like that usually have to talk to about 100 to find one. But that's how we completed 3 restorations in these last 3 years, the first 2 in the first 4 years, without a single donation that ever exceeded $1,000 from one person on the first 2. The aircraft are valued at $1 million plus. They're worth jillions to us. They belong to every member. Not one nut or bolt or anything belongs to anyone, one person. With that, with these events in the last 13 seasons, 9 years ago we began seeing visions that maybe we were supposed to build a museum that would, hold the history of the Huey, of our veterans, a history that isn't about a Model T or a Model A or a B-17 or a P-51, which we love all those things, and you usually see them in museums or at car shows or at air shows. But they were aircraft or vehicles that were only built for a small amount of time and only used in 1 or 2 conflicts as far as the aircraft. The Huey first flew in 1956, the prototype, and since then nearly 20,000 have been built. Approximately 15,000 were built through the Vietnam era, and with that all branches of service had different models of the Huey in their inventory. Also 53 overseas countries have had the Huey in their inventory, and some still do. They've been built by 4 other countries other than the U.S. in Germany, Italy, Taiwan, and Japan. So the history is just huge. And the best news is it's not old history. It started with the passionate history of the Vietnam veteran, the life-saving capability of the aircraft and the crews that went in after their brothers, when they thought they were crazy to waste their life coming in after them. And, thousands and thousands of lives were saved. Others that weren't so fortunate were pulled out of zones with the Huey. And, but the good news is that's where the passionate history began, the sound of hope of those blades, that womp, womp, womp. Veterans have been serving in Hueys in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and still today. Yeah. Brand new ones are still being built by Bell Helicopter, along with new Cobras and Ospreys at the same plant, and those Hueys are nearing $30 million a copy. They're built for the Marine Corps. And the Air Force is still instructing their helicopter pilots in Hueys like our H models, the same aircraft. They're also still flying N models. And many, many, many former surplus and commercial Hueys are firefighting, they're logging, they're search and rescuing, they're in law enforcement. They're used all over the world. And but with that, a museum is needed to preserve this history of our veterans and the aircraft that is still current. And currently, 4.5 years ago, we started a fundraiser for $250,000, of the $4 million goal. And we did that in 8 months. We raised another $250,000. That took 1.5 years. So we're over $500,000 through those first 2 phases. And that leaves from the $4 million a $3.5 million goal. So currently we're in our 3rd phase of fundraising, final phase, for $3.5 million of the balance of that goal, and we're already $600,000 into that goal. So altogether, we're over $1.1 million of the money raised of the $4 million to build the museum. We will not start building it till all the money's in place. $3 million builds the facility. $1 million that makes the other million of the $4 million has to be an interest-bearing account to guarantee the future success of the museum. And in my lifetime, I'll be glad to sign a document as president and founder that the money will never be touched. But the interest, the whole reason for that $1 million really in my lifetime, besides being a rainy day account someday, is the interest will go towards a scholarship, you know, for children that have lost an active duty parent. And we'll have a committee that looks at the neediest situations, and that's what that $1 million of the $4 million will do, the interest. So with that, we've acquired 34 beautiful acres of land right across from the Grissom Air Force Base, Grissom Aeroplex, most beautiful land we think in the country. It's our heaven on earth, and we just had our 13th annual gathering last week to a record capacity crowd, and we have a beautiful gate, 22-foot wide, that the McElwain Industries from Ottawa built for us as a donation, and Rich and Millie and Bulldog and their son Jason and all the employees. So lots and lots of things will occur, projects, along with the fact that we finished before Mother's Day a Blessed Mother grotto coming up the driveway of the museum that will honor all mothers, starting with our dear Lord's mom, and especially our Gold Star moms. So with that, we invite anyone to go to AmericanHuey369.com and look at the museum page, look at our fundraising page, and think about becoming a founder. Become a founder takes a $1,000 gift or more. You can make any donation you like, and it's much appreciated. Membership is what drives the organization. They're two different things. But the website's one of the largest in the world, with over 40,000 photos of 15 years of gallery pages, 4 pages of videos. Our Facebook page, American Huey 369, is probably the most current thing there is out there, and has everything that we do, you know, with every event. And this year we have 19 events, of which we have another 6 in a row after this one. So with that, again, AmericanHuey369.com, and you can donate, you can become a founder, and you can help build a museum that will heal, that will educate, and pay tribute and honor to all veterans, especially Vietnam veterans, and all great patriots that never wore the uniform but who have always supported our troops. That's our definition of a patriot. And we'll never forget our veterans that gave the ultimate sacrifice of their life dating back to the Revolution, and while always honoring the Gold Star mothers and families.
Okay, great. Thank you, Johnny.
Yep.
Appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.